Did you know that the SAT has a built-in calculator now that can save you precious time? In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to use the Desmos Calculator step by step so you can walk into test day confident. It's a really good tool. The Desmos Calculator is built into the testing platform called Bluebook, and you can also use the free online Desmos Calculator. All you have to do is search Desmos, D-E-S-M-O-S. So let me show you first how to pull it up on the SAT testing platform called Bluebook. So right now I am in the Bluebook app, and if I click on test preview, that's the easiest way to show it to you. You just want to go into SAT and you want to click on the math section, which I think you have to go through. You have to go through reading and writing to get to the math section, but this is just for test preview. So I'm going to get into the math section. And then let me show you. So this is what your test day math section will look like. Here is the calculator right up here. So you click on that, it opens your Desmos calculator. Now I tell my students to bring their TI-83 or TI-84 so that you can just have a handheld calculator, because sometimes honestly that's a little bit just more convenient when you're doing simple things. But this is great. This Desmos calculator is great for graphing. I'm going to just say you can expand it like this. And then you can start typing in equations. If you want to use the keyboard, the keypad, you can use it right here. There's extra functions that you can, like if you need a trig function, you can just type in SIN for sign, or you can come in here and click the button. And there's some other operations as well. And you can see here you might need this absolute value. You also have some exponential functions, but you also can type those in on your keypad, like Shift 6, for example, is the caret, which gives you the exponent or the superscript. Other things I would like to mention is if you have a bunch of equations and you're moving on to the next question, you can clear your list by clicking on the gear icon, which it's telling me it's cleared. And there's the gear icon. That also allows you to change colors of lines, which I'll show you some graphs in a minute. And then graph settings, you can adjust your axes here. And then this is kind of important when you have any trig questions. You want to make sure you're in either radian mode or degree mode per, what the question's asking. So the good thing about Desmos, I'll just give you a quick example. Just like your TI-84, you can type things in y equals, right? So if you want to type a simple, linear equation, you can do it like that. But you also don't need to have it in y equals mode. You can also have it like this. So that's really nice. That's a nice feature about Desmos. You can also graph circles. Anything that's not a function is completely doable in Desmos, which is really nice. So those are the basics. I'm going to clear this and I'm going to show you two questions that are actual SAT questions to give you kind of a primer on how to use Desmos during your test. So here is just my Firefox tab, and I am going to show you how to find Desmos. It's just desmos.com. And if you want to practice kind of on your own with Desmos, this is a full-sized, a little bit bigger calculator, which I find really nice. So I'm going to demonstrate two questions for you from the SAT. This first one, you can read on the screen. It's a function, and it's asking for what value of x does f of x equal 5. So I'd like to say that on questions like this, it's really kind of a nice thing to just look for the intersection point to get the answer. This is also a fill in the blank type of question, which a lot of students get a little extra anxious on. So I wanted to show you how to kind of confidently solve this. So you can type in f of x if you want to, or you can just type in y, it doesn't matter. But I'm gonna say f of x equals, and then 9/7 x. I wanna you wanna make sure that you are using, when you're typing in fractions, you wanna make sure that everything looks good. You want to check it over. So that looks good. And then I also am going to say f of x equals 5, and then where these lines intersect should be my answer. So it says for what value of x does f of x equal 5? So I'm going to go up here. And if you see a gray dot, that's awesome. I have my answer. It's 3. Done. So Desmos made it really fast. If you don't see the dot, like if it's like this, I want you to click on one of the lines and it'll show the dot. Sometimes that doesn't appear automatically. So that's really nice and easy and quick, right? This was on, I think, module 1 of a math test. Next up, I'm going to share with you an inequality. Let's see what that looks like. The next example I have for you is this linear inequality question. So it says the shaded region shown represents which inequality? So this is a fairly straightforward linear inequality question. I used to teach math in high school, and I would tell students just plot the line, right? Y equals mx plus b, and then pick a point. Like in this case, it could be the origin. If your equation holds true, then you would shade the side with the origin on it. But all of that takes a little time, and I feel like Desmos is probably going to be easier here. So I am going to just quickly graph, and you can actually graph inequalities, which is really cool. Look at that. Isn't that neat? So this is A. Well, that's not it. As you can see, the line has a different slope. And as you can see also, here's another kind of bonus tip. The SAT like intentionally writes lines, or in this case, inequalities. So we know it as y equals mx plus b, right? That's how we always write it. But the SAT sometimes gives it to you as y equals b plus mx. Okay, let's look at option B. So that one is y is less than -1 minus 3x. So although that looks like the line is better, it looks like the shading is not the same. So let's change it to option C, -1 plus 3x. And nope, and let's change it to -1 minus 3x. Oh, hold on, I need to switch these, don't I? I switch greater than. That's not it, and then greater than -1 minus 3x. And there it is, option D. I will say another tip is that sometimes if it is an obvious Desmos type question where you're going to be looking at 4 graphs, I sometimes recommend starting with D because I think they know it takes extra time, and so they'll put D as the correct answer because they know students are going to be taking extra time. So that's a tip. If it's a Desmos type question, start with D. So as you can see, Desmos is an amazing tool. If you'd like to see more examples of this, let me know in the comments below. Also, please like and subscribe to my growing channel and share with your friends and other families. Thanks.